That's right.
All right,
figured.
coming to order the board in our scheduled legal and human resources meeting on November 5th, 2025, just about 1. We have Commissioner DeGruda, Commissioner maintaining room, Commissioner Nichols is at the Real Oregon tour today. We have at least one item on our agenda. We do need to approve meeting minutes.
Well,
And I know you have an agenda, but let me do meeting minutes first. Are those good? Okay. You want to
So,
check?
still gonna do number 4.
Okay, well, let's go ahead.
Because that is county owned property that we're gonna list, so.
yeah, I'll make a motion that we list the property located, let's see, we're gonna do this by tax account number 339324 and 347262. List them for sale as and deem them surplus.
Second, so we have a motion for our consideration related to the listing of some properties with real estate agent Allison York. If there's no other discussion, I will ask us to vote. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
I vote aye, and my motion passes. Is that all we need from that item?
So,
We'll move on to item 5, Dry Creek contract. Options.
We'll get some through that.
Afternoon, Stephanie from County Community Development Department, and this is Tom. Community Development Department as always. And so we had, presentation from Dark Creek and they blew us away with their 30% increase. So
Mhm.
we asked them to come back with another proposal, and this is the second proposal that we just got from them, and it appears they brought that down to 10.67%, which equates to actually $6.89 per ton increase over what we're doing right now. But to make that work, they're asking to increase the CPI. Right now, we're doing 85% of the CPI every July, and they want to increase that to 100%. And then also, they want to, did they say about the cap?
Yeah, no cap.
And then they wanted to take the cap. Currently, we have a 4% cap. And that has taken, that cap came in play 2 times in the last 5 years, where it went beyond the 4%. So if we didn't have that cap in place, I think one was 7%. And so we were able to keep it at 4%. And that was really important to us and helped a lot. So I think that cap is important to keep at the 4%, and also think it's important to keep that 85% cap or CPI and not the 100%. And so then they said if that didn't work, they would propose a $10 increase, and that raises overall 15.22% over and above what we're at right now, versus the 10.5% increase in the initial first of their. They did break it down. We asked them to break it down by transfer fee, transport fee, and then service fee component. So they did that equally from back in 2021 versus 2026, what they're asking for. But in my spreadsheet, I did it even for the breakdown I did from 2021. And then I did the CPI increase incrementally per year as we've been increasing to get to where we are currently now. And you can see that with their proposal up top is transfer fee would be $2.89 per ton more and $2.68 per ton more on the transport fee. And then their service component, which is their gate rate over at Dry Creek, would be $36.11 per ton.
Yeah, I agree with you about the importance of keeping the 85% guy.
But to do that, they're asking for the $10.
Yeah, and I want to just sell that.
If you did that and kept it at if you did the $10 and then kept CPI at 85, what they want, over the next 5 years, it equates to 29% increase. If you did their first option and kept, and then we said no to their 100%, you're looking at probably 24.28% increase over the next 5 years.
It's not as big as the I thought it was.
What are our contractual obligations as it relates to negotiating this out and extending the agreement that we currently have?
So we've been tossing that same question back and forth between county council and us. Because we renegotiated at the last 5 year, and then we're at a point where we've done CPI, and it doesn't state that we're at this moment that they could renegotiate. Do you see it that way?
Right, or if the other portion of that, if I recall, was as mutually agreed upon, so that means we both have to agree.
Mm-hmm.
We also want to face a situation where we don't have any but service.
For an RFP would take a long time. This expires December 31st.
There is language that they have to keep running. They can't leave you holding the bag without service. We do, like we did the last extension, they forced us into that same thing. And so then so we wrote a little document that extended the time. They wound up renewing anyway, but still it went past the deadline. I remember the language on that document now, but it suffices to say that it extends it to where they can't leave you without service. They can't just walk out of Climate Falls and say, no.
So if we go out for an RFP, they have to continue to provide the service until such time as we wrap that
That's
process.
my understanding. I'd want to look back at that again, though.
I want to
As a
say,
council, just to make sure.
that amendment was only for that extension. I'm not 100% sure.
Okay.
We did a 6 months extension on our last 5 year.
Yeah.
Which got us to an agreed upon price. And then we went forward with that, so.
And just,
We're at the stage of a second 5 year renewal, right? Within the 3 renewals that were available.
Correct.
It's our last.
This is the last one.
this is the last 5-year renewal that they're eligible.
In an RFP, that's a gamble. You don't know what.
Of course, but typically, trying to decide exactly what I want to say here. This process, since we started this conversation with our provider, as well as the presentation from the provider, has not left me with a bunch of confidence. The RFP process is a competitive process for a reason, as it is the best mechanism we have to protect the taxpayers. Especially when we start hearing this size of increases that have been being requested. This is obviously substantially less than what was the good guy deal that we were getting before, which also, as we all saw in the meeting, kind of kicked me off. I believe RFPs keep people on this.
So it sounds like you're leaning towards an RFP, which I think is great. I know it's a lot of work, but I mean, if we want to go that approach, we need to.
We need to keep going now.
And that would be probably, I guess I'm asking, do you think that would be initiated when you turn this down? Say you like the 1061, whatever that is, but you don't like the 100%. language.
And I don't like losing the cap. I mean, if they wanted
Yeah.
to do the lower amount, keep the cap and go back to the 85, I could probably be okay with staying with them, but if they're not
Basically,
gonna
the
do
exact
that.
same contract language that we
Yeah,
have currently,
but if
which
they're
is
not
At
85%.
7 a ton.
It was 85% of CPI increases, which they can continue to do with a 4% cap, basically the same contract they have now. With no
Just
market
talking,
adjustment, I guess is what I would call it, other than the CPI.
I don't really understand the tariff thing. What, when they put in here, they wanted that increase because of the uncertainty around tariffs. Can you explain that a little bit? I don't really understand it.
I'm not certain what tariffs
Oh,
Yeah,
would
that's
have
exactly
as far as an impact on this type of a service. We're not buying any materials
okay.
that I'm familiar with unless it's
Shipment.
Oh, fuel? I don't know.
fuel. Tariffs don't have anything on fuel. Equipment purchases, maybe like trucks and stuff, but those aren't
They can't pass that on to this.
right.
No,
I mean,
that's-
that's pretty much domestic production that I'm aware of, unless there's something that I'm not aware
I
of. So
think they're just making the argument that CPI is connected to tariffs.
That's what I was trying to
instead of
figure
CPI,
out.
But I
I didn't,
didn't.
I told Steph in our meeting, I didn't understand that.
I'm leaning towards starting an RFP process. That's, I think, what.
Yeah, I mean,
making it work.
I'm good with that too, unless they do just agree to.
And who responds to this? The commissioners? Or do we come back to a regular, or is this the regular
I
commissioner?
think this is the
our
response.
review. I mean, I think,
Okay.
yeah, you can indicate to them. So the board decided that if they want to keep what we essentially had, in the 85% CPI, the 4% cap, that we could probably do that. They need to figure it out quick, but if not, we're doing an RFP. And then we get the RFP process started.
Yes.
We probably should start that simultaneously.
I would say we need a response from them no later than 10/10. Excuse me, 11/10, November.
5 business days.
I think there's in our language how many, when they write us and then we have some days to write them, they have some days to write us.
That's right. Because this process has taken an excruciatingly long time.
Are you
I
saying
mean,
no?
just to get a response from them written about what they wanted the last time, took an excruciatingly long.
So no to the 100% per cap.
No to everything.
No language.
Basically, no to everything.
Okay.
Even the 10.67% increase?
No,
Just the CPI.
Just-
Basically an extension of the current language.
contract language change.
That's what I'm understanding.
Does this have to be written like the legal counsel letter or something?
Can you help?
It was unclear to me how the whole process went for the current contract language. That's,
It feels very clumsy.
I was kind of relying on how you guys have done it in the past.
We did our last 5 years.
Well, I know.
I did up a letter and then
Okay.
Tom and I both signed it,
Okay,
and that was our
I'm good. Okay.
letter back to them.
And then are you comfortable with, do you feel like you know how to escape the RFP part if we're sort of trying to do them simultaneously?
We last worked with Shanna, who was here doing contracts, and she worked with Tom and I, and we all got together and we did the RFP.
So Leslie would be your point of contact to help.
And I have all those reports, so do you.
Yeah.
We keep paper.
You have like the scope of work and everything still.
And keep the
Yeah.
contract as it's written, because that was apparently very good, or everybody would be fighting.
It should be pretty simple to do an RFP if we're not changing much or,
Oh, really?
yeah. Get going. It's just getting it initiated because there's a time frame that we have to stick to.
Well, they'll make that time frame on that.
So it sounds like we have clarity around an approach. Sorry.
No, just gotta put our foot on the gas.
Council, Mr. Anything else?
Nothing further on the agenda.
One.
Thank you.
Yeah,
We got it all, yeah. We got everything.
yeah.
You got